Katrina's Creations. This is episode 123, and I have got a huge amount of things to show you today. Let's get started right away. First off, I have a finished object. If you've been following my Wednesday series, I've been making a pair of socks, 2 at a time, magic loop method. If you haven't seen this series, if you click here, it'll take you to the playlist and you can watch. It's a 4-part series. But here they are. They are both done. And they fit. They're a little bit loose around the cuff here, but that is not the fault of the pattern. That is because these are intended for full-size socks that go up your leg, and I cut them down to just little footsies because that's the type of socks I prefer. So these are a little looser. I will make this pattern again because I really liked it and it was easy, but I think next time I'll either do the cuff with a smaller needle or I will do fewer stitches for the cuff and then do some increases. So they're very snuggly. I'm real happy with them. They fit absolutely perfect and they were a very easy pattern. So I will make these again. And I will put the name, it was Marie's Simple Sock Pattern, I think. Something like that. I will put it down here what the name of it was. So that is my finished object. My next work in progress, or my first work in progress, is my sweater. This is my Flax Light sweater. It is abiding in my Katrina's Creations tote. And here is where I was last week. And I've done about 1.5 inches around. And I've got a ways to go because I have knit so far. Here's the base of my sleeve. And here is about 9 inches. And I have to go to about 14 or 15 for me. The pattern calls for 17, but I'm short-waisted, so I'm probably going to go to 14 or 15. So there is that work in progress. My next pattern is something new. I took this to Knit Night, and this is a free pattern. It's called Galaxy. The yarn I am knitting this with is called Katia Darling, and the colorway, it just says colorway 204. It doesn't have a name. It should, because it's very pretty, and I will show it to you. The pattern I am knitting is called Galaxy, and this is what it looks like. This is a free pattern, and you knit the lace section first, and then you go back and you do the top part. It is kind of a crescent-shaped shawl. It's not real deep, but it's kind of long. And here is what mine looks like so far. And this is not purple. It's a deep, deep burgundy. There you go. That's better color-wise. Here's what the yarn looks like. And if this looks familiar, if you watched the video where my local yarn shop owner and I chatted and we showed a whole bunch of the projects that she had in her shop, this is one of the projects. I saw it hanging and it's in this color. And I just fell in love with the pattern and the yarn. And so I bought the exact same thing. So if you want to see what it's really going to look like, you can check that video out. And I will again put a link right here. And you can check out that particular pattern. And the bag that it is in was a bag I got from Knit Crate. It came in one of the sock boxes. And it actually has the Kitchener stitch, which is what you use to close up your toes on your socks. So it actually has the pattern written out for you. So this was one of the freebies that came in the sock box one time. I'm going to do all of my knitting projects first and then show you my crochet project because I'll be talking about it for a little bit. Next is my design shawl. This is the Basket Wave. I've already made it in blue and white. You saw that a couple weeks ago. So now I'm doing it a second knit through, and I am using Cloudborne. I am using Highland Superwash Cloudborne. This is from Craftsy, which is now Bluprint yarn. This particular color is called Sky Blue. It kind of has a light teal to it, and the color for this is called Sky Blue. Okay, it's really, really soft. It is a fingering weight, and it's 80% superwash fine Highland wool, 20% polyamide. So this is the solid color that I'm using for the pattern portion. And the colored portion that I am using is this yarn here. This is what the Ubiquitous is made out of. I just found the ball band. It is called Rita Mae Yarns, and it is Sweet Pea Sock Base. There, you can see it there. And the color is Ubiquitous. And it is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and there are 463 yards in 100 grams. So I put the two of them together, and I'll show you what it looks like. You can see where I was last week, right here, with my little stitch marker that looks like a teapot. And this is where I'm at this week. And this blue is actually a little more teal than what it's showing up. It looks like it's light blue. It's actually a kind of a real light turquoise. It's a definite teal color. It's not a blue. And here's the stitches that are showing up so far. There's the first one. And here's the second pattern. And now I am into the third. So each of these sections has a different stitch pattern. So it's kind of like a little sampler by the time you finish, and then it's garter in between with short rows. And it's in this little bag that I got on sale. It's really a nice bag. It has like a vinyl top to it. It has a nice pull, zipper pull. And I just thought it matched the shawl itself, so it went together. I got this from Joann's for I think $3.99. And lastly, I'm working on the cirrus scarf for my husband. And I didn't make a whole lot of progress on this week, because what I did make in progress, I ended up ripping out. We were in the car and I was knitting away, and then I looked down and realized, oops, I've been knitting on the wrong side, and all my pearls were on the wrong side, because as you can see, this is a linen stitch, so it's bumpy on this side. This is the wrong side. This is the right side here, which is supposed to look woven. It does look woven now, but it had little bumps going across here because I accidentally reversed the pattern. So, yeah. So what I did get knitted in this, I tinked back this week. So there was progress, and then there was deconstruction. So, or destruction in my case. So we'll give that another shot next week. Now we will get on to the crochet portion. Now we do have a doily along running right now. What that means is you can knit or crochet a doily of your choice, and you can enter it for a prize. The doily along, the entry is over in Ravelry. That's where you would need to post your completed project. And it is running from the 1st of March until April 30th. So, and after April 30th, I will draw a winner. And the winner will receive some hand-spun silk yarn that I spun myself. So, that is the prize. There are 375 yards. This is a lace weight, so you could do something doilish with that. Now, let me show you the doily that I am making. I am making the fractal, which is a page 4 pattern, but it's gorgeous. This is what it looks like. As you can see, it's a different take on a regular doily. And the center section is what I've been working on. You start in the center, and then each of these are called veins, and those are worked separately. So let me show you what I have done. I have the center section completed, and I showed you all last week when I had this that it was ruffling and I was a little concerned with it. I did rip it out and redo it, and I think I was just stress crocheting, and so it was ruffling more so than it should have. So now it doesn't have a whole lot of a ruffle. It has just a slight ruffle to it. So that is the completed center circle. So next I'm going to be starting on vein number 1, which is the kind of wings that come out. So I'm real happy with how it's going so far. So, yeah. And I'm knitting or crocheting this. I think this is size 3. I think. It didn't have a label because I've had this like forever. And I don't know anything about yarn weights or crochet weight threads. I was at Knit Night the other night and I bought some more of this, and one of the girls there is a crocheter, and she happened to be looking at some yarn in the same section, and I was like, Lisa, help me, I don't know what I'm buying. So she told me what to get, and so we're all good. So you will see that in the acquisitions what I got, but it's going to match my kitchen. This, if it turns out okay, and so far this has been a very easy pattern even for me, the beginning crocheter. If it turns out okay, this is probably going to end up as a Christmas present for my mom, or just a present for my mom just because. So, and the bag I have it in is, I love this bag. I won this in a giveaway from Must Love Yarn, which is a podcast. In fact, there's their logo. They are up in Shelburne, Vermont. But I like this bag because you can wear it on your arm, and then your yarn just sits in here, and you can knit or crochet, and then it has a little pocket right here. And if you look at the pictures on it, it's got a bunch of sheep that are knitting. So, and I do believe the podcaster, it's Kelly and Angela, and it was Kelly's mother that made this. So, yeah, that's what it's staying in. And I like it because everything just fits really easy inside, and it's easy to carry around. And the ball of yarn is not going to be rolling all over the floor. So let me tell you what I am wearing here. I've made 2 of these shawls. This is called Drachenfels. It is a Melanie Berg pattern, and I love Melanie Berg patterns. I have 2 of them, and I've knit both of them twice before. But this one is especially soft. The purple in it, right here, also is part of the prize where I won this bag. They also sent me 3 skeins of yarn. One was Vine, which I gave away in a giveaway a few months back. And some other was this purple, which is an alpaca. And then there's another kind of funny color lavendery yarn that's in my yarn stash that I'm hoping to combine with something down the road. But let me stand up and show you what Drachenfels looks like. It is a good-sized shawl, mainly because this particular yarn that I knit it with really stretched out and is squishy. And the other colors that are in here, I don't remember them. I think this is Andromeda speckled. It's a speckled yarn. It came from Craftsy, which is now Bluprint. And the solid color purple that is in here, not the dark purple. There is another purple that is in here. It's not as noticeable. You can see kind of a different, there's another purple right in here, and like right in here. It's kind of a fuchsia color. That also is part of the Bluprint yarn. So let me stand up and show you this. Here's the full shawl. And you could wear this wrapped around the front of you, but it is a relatively deep shawl this way, and I actually just enjoy it around my shoulders. It is a fingering weight. I'll come a little closer so you can see how it kind of looks. You start at one end and work your way across. Drachenfels is a hill in Germany, so that's where she got this name from. The other Drachenfels that I've made is in reds and tans. And this pattern is available on Ravelry, or you can also buy it over on Bluprint as a kit, and then you can pick the 3 yarns to go with it. Now it's time to see what you all have made. Now our new segment that I started last week or the week before is called Review the Product. And this week I thought I would do a yarn book. It is all knitting. It is put out by Debbie Bliss of Debbie Bliss Yarns. And I actually ran across this by accident at my local library. I was putting some books away, and sitting on one of the shelving carts was this book. So of course it said knitting, and the radar kind of went ding, 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 ding. So I had to look at it. So I thought I would share with you some of the patterns that are in this book. There are some beautiful ones. Here's the first one. It is a handbag for knitting or whatever. They've used it for knitting. There's these cute little flower pot covers. And I love this sweet little cardigan. I don't have any little baby girls in the family to make this for, but that's for a baby. Here's some little baby booties. I really liked this, not so much as a pencil case, but as like a change purse or a needle cozy. These I thought were so delicate looking, and with our doily along, I thought they were kind of neat. They are little cozies to put over your votive cups for your votive candles. So I thought that was really pretty. Here is a beach tote, and it's got cables on it. And a cute little pumpkin. Several of you made cute little adorable pumpkins with the fall along that we did last fall, and I really decided I need some pumpkins in my life. So here is an adorable bag here. I love pocketbooks, can you tell? This I thought was really neat. They spelled out Noel with stuffed letters and a pattern on it that has little snowflakes. So I thought that was kind of neat. I promise I'm not showing all of the patterns here. And these Christmas tree decorations, I thought they looked like sugar cookies when you decorate them. So the book is called The Knitter's Year, and it has 52 make-in-a-week projects, quick gifts, and seasonal knits. And it does go by season. It shows different things. Here's some other of the patterns on the back. So it has tons of stuff. And what I do when I buy a knitting book, and I did buy a copy of this. I went on to eBay and found a used copy. when I usually will check my library at work first to see if there's enough patterns to make it worth it to buy it for me, or whether it's better to just go onto Ravelry and just buy one pattern as opposed to the whole book. Because this book retailed for $24.95. It is hardback, and it's a good sized book. Like I said, the patterns are in it, and it gives you a little information about yarn and things in the front. But yeah, before I go and spend money on a book, I generally will see if our library has it, and I'll check it out, and I'll take my time and sit down and look at it and figure out how many patterns are in there that I would want to make to decide whether it's going to be a good buy for me or not. So, and this one was, and I think I got it on eBay for like $6.95. It is a used book, and I'm not real picky about it having to be brand new. So, yeah. So that is my review for this week. Again, it's called The Knitter's Year. Now we are on to acquisitions, and I have got a humongous amount of acquisitions, and I didn't buy most of them. I'll show you the ones I bought first. Then I'll explain the ones that came by free from my mom. So let me get started first. Okay, I told you I was at my local yarn shop and at our knit night, and I decided I wanted to make a second fractal since this one's going well now, and once I've worked my way through the first one and I know what I'm doing with it, I'm going to make a second one, but I wanted it to match my kitchen, and I want to do it in 2 colors. So, ta-da! Yes, my kitchen is, well, actually most of my first floor of my house is yellow. The walls are kind of a real pale yellow, and then I have different shades of blue. I have kind of a nautical theme. I have lighthouses all over my house. Anyway, these are the 2 colors in my kitchen, and that's where my dining room table is. And we have a dining room, but we use it more like an office. So the dining room, like I said, my kitchen's big enough to have a big dining table in it. So I thought this would be really, really pretty in there. And this is actually, the more I look at this is heavier than the yarn I'm making my fractal with. So I have no idea then what the size of this fractal is. This is a size 3. This is a 3. And you can see it's a little bit thicker than this is. At least it looks it. I don't know, is there such a thing as a 2? It's definitely thinner. This is the white here, and this is the yellow. This is definitely, my fractal yarn is definitely thinner than the other one. So I have no idea what this is. This is maybe a 1 or a 2, I guess. But these 2 are definitely 3s. So I will be crocheting with a little bit bigger crochet hook to make it with this. The white one I'm making, I'm using a size 2, which is what they recommend. But I have a size 3 and I have a size 3.5. So I might either the 3 or the 3.5 with these when I do this. I'm not sure how I'm going to do, if I'm going to do one of the veins with this color and one with this, or if I'm going to alternate them and make them striped. I'm not sure yet. I want to kind of see how the whole thing gets constructed together so I'll know how to put this in with the 2 colors of yarn. But this was my knit night purchase. And then my husband and I go to an auction every week, and we go look around and we put a pre-bid on something. I saw this thing, I could not turn it down. I put a bid on this. I got it for $6. It's used, but look at this, how cute. It is a lamp. I have to get a shade for it yet. And looking at this, I think it would take a regular light bulb. It doesn't necessarily have to have one of these little ones. But look at that. It's a spinning wheel. It is perfect for my craft cave. So, I mean, it's a little on the beaten up side. You can't see it here, but the finish is worn in a few spots. There, you can see it. But I just thought that was adorable. I saw it and I was like, that needs to go home to the craft cave. So, yes, I've never seen anything like this before. So I got it for $6 at the auction. So thought that was cute. I might tie up some thread. I mean, it's obviously kind of out of proportion this way because this should be like over here a little ways, but that's okay. But I might put a piece of string here and down to where the bobbin is here. So it looks even more realistic. But yeah, I was real happy with it. I thought it was cute. Now we get into the huge amount of acquisitions from my mother. We're going to be surprised together because I have not opened this bag. She called me up on the phone the other day. If you remember, a couple weeks ago, she gave me her knitting machine, which is still in pieces all across my kitchen table. Thank goodness we don't eat in the kitchen very often. We tend to eat in the living room, sitting in the chair. But because there's no room to be had on my kitchen table. Anyway, she called me up yesterday and said, I've gotten all the yarn out of the closet that goes with the knitting machine. And she says, it's just cheap yarn on cones, but, you know, you can use it. You can have it if you want. And so I thought, yes, please, because I really don't want to use some of my better yarn to experiment with the knitting machine. I want to use something that's really cheap to practice on before I start doing anything. So I thought it would be fun since I have not opened it. I know relatively what's in there. I know there's some cones of yarn in there. I know there are 2 pillow forms in there, that you can, like the insides for a pillow, for a throw pillow. I know she said there's 2 of those. And there's a bunch of ribbon because years ago, my grandmother was going to make a pillow she had seen it in a craft book where you took ribbon and you wove it together and then you sewed it across the ends and it formed a pillow cover. Now, my grandmother passed away 18 years ago. So this ribbon, I remember being with her when she picked it out. I had taken her to the store when she was looking for it. So I know that it's close to 20 years old, maybe even a little bit older. But anyway, my mother told me that there's ribbon in there. I don't even remember what colors it was. So we're going to explore this together. It's the mystery yarn haul. So I'll show you the bag. Here we go. And it is heavy. So I'm going to stick it on a chair here. And it's tied. So it's the mystery unboxing of the century here. We're going to open this together. Can't even get the knot out. There we go. Okay, oh my goodness. Let's see what we've got. Okay, the first is a pillow. This is just a pillow form. So we have a pillow form. We have some yarn with sparkles in it. It's just white and it looks like silver threaded sparkles. There you can see it. And this is all probably fingering weight. It's not quite lace weight. It's fingering weight because her yarn, her knitting machine takes like a fingering to a sock weight. So there's one. Here's more of the same. Falling off the chair. Trying to get the cones of yarn out first because they're the most awkward. Here is now this is pretty. This is just plain off-white. It looks white in here, but it's actually an off-white. It's in a crew color. So it's not white. It's definitely kind of a vanilla color. So that's pretty. We have hot pink fuchsia, and that's more than enough to do a sweater with. Probably the same with that vanilla color yarn, probably has enough there to do something like a sweater with. But this is a lot of yarn. Here we have another pillow form. Now we have some more white yarn, but this is an iridescent sparkle. So it's all different colors, lots of greens and stuff in it. So it's not the same as that other one. here is a light, kind of a beige color. Again, it's looking white. It's not, it's a beige color. Now we have some red with some sparkle in it. It has silver in it. It's not enough to do a sweater out of, so maybe something small. Like a Christmas stocking or something. Yeah. There you go. We have some not quite as fuchsia. Oop, the whole bag just went over. This is kind of a little bit more like a rose color, and it has a pretty sheen to it. But it's very uneven. There's like thick and thin portions of it, so I'm not sure how well that's going to do on the machine. But there it is. Let me rescue the bag off the floor again. I have no idea. This is like cording. 2 cordings, like what you would, I have no idea. But that's cording. It's like in a maroon color. Here's some green. And it's not light green like what it's showing. It's Christmas green. Here's some more of that vanilla color yarn. Here's some blue. And it's like an electric blue. It's not as light as it's showing here. It is a definite kind of a royal blue. So there's some of that. Some black with gold sparkles. Some red. Here we have a skein. Now this is worsted weight here. This is a skein of a rose color. This is attached to something. Okay, here's some. Here is some hand knit. And I don't know if she did this on the machine or not. I didn't think the machine could do worsted weight. But I don't know that my mother knit this. It's awfully even. I don't know. But there is that. And there's some more of that blue. Here's another portion of the blue. It looks like, just looking at the shape of it, it looks like this was part of a sweater. As you can see this shape here. I bet I could sew it together and turn this into a sweater for my granddaughter. It would look adorable on her. It might end up doing that. We have more of the yarn, and it's still attached to something. I'll have to dig it out. It's attached to something in the bottom here. But there is more of the blue yarn. Oh, okay, there's the end of it. Here is another. She likes the sparkles, apparently. My mom does. Because here's baby blue, and it is sparkles, and it's got a label on it. It says Amber Lurex. 100% Curatel waxed. Knits as 4-ply, 2,037 yards. It's a 330-gram cone. That's all it says on there. Made in the UK. Amber yarn, Shipley, West Yorkshire. But it does not say what it's made out of. I'm assuming it's acrylic, but it doesn't say. There's another cone that is a light, kind of a mint green color. And then here is some of the ribbon. There's some. Oh, then we have some more worsted weight. That's a deep navy color. More ribbon. I thought I remembered it being burgundy colored, and that's what this is. So we have some burgundy and some of this kind of flowered color here. Oh, here's some more sparkly yarn. This is navy blue with sparkles that are blue. Here's some more cording. This is some cotton, some lilies. It feels like lily sugar and cream is what it feels like. But it's definitely some of the cotton yarns. And here's some black. And then there's a bunch of these little white granny squares. And some of the white yarn she was knitting it with, or crocheting it with. And those are in a separate bag. And there's a bunch of them. There you go. Handful of those. Oh, there's still something in there. More ribbon. Now it's a rose color and some more of the flowered. And the rest seems to be more of these granny squares. So I think we hit bottom. So now let's move on to our in our Come and Get It section this week. We have, we'll start with Annie's. I'll try to do them alphabetically. Annie's is having a price freeze on all of their out-of-print patterns. So that's one to check it out. And I am in the process of working out a giveaway. Annie's contacted me about another giveaway for a crochet pattern. So once that gets finalized, I will put a video up about it. Should be later this week. Bluprint is off, which is the old Craftsy, is offering some new classes, and they also have the Cloudborn DK. Now I showed you, this is the Cloudborn thing. All of the cones of yarn just fell off on the bed onto the floor. So that's what that thumping was. This is the Cloudborn sock. So they have Cloudborn DK. And they are selling it for $3 a skein. They also have the Bernat satin on sale for $2.09. Consumer Crafts is offering, they're running a really good sale right now. They're offering a 25% site-wide sale, but it only lasts until Sunday. So it only lasts until tomorrow, which would be March 10th. So if you want it, you got to go get it now. If you liked the little cart that I got the other week for my craft stuff, that's where I got it from, was Consumer Crafts. Now, if I had waited a couple of weeks, I could have gotten it for 25% off. I might have to get a second one. Maybe Dave would like one. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to have to go check that one out. But anyway, 25% site-wide. You do have to use a coupon code, and I'll put it right down here, but it is FFMAR19. And if you order from Consumer Crafts and you order over $49, you get shipping for free. So some really good deals over there this week. Create for Less has their Sugar and Cream, which is a cotton yarn that's used for dishcloths and stuff like that. They have it on sale for $2.59, and they have a lot of colors to choose from. If you buy a cone of the Sugar and Cream, it is $13.74. They also have Red Heart It's a Wrap, which is an acrylic yarn, and it's 1,100 yards, and they have that on sale for $8.59. Hobium is running a 40% off sale through Sunday, so through March 10th. Knit Crate offers you 20% off of your first subscription box. You do need to use the coupon code KCreations20 to get that 20% off. And there will be a Knit Crate unboxing probably on Monday. So that will be another video coming up. And Knit Picks, if you sign up for their free newsletter, they let you know when they got sales and stuff going on. But if you sign up, and it is free to sign up, you can get free shipping on your first order. They have 20% off of their yarn of the month yarn, but they also are offering 40% off of green colored yarns. They always pick a yarn color of the month, and if the yarn is that specific color, you get a certain percentage off. So they are offering 40% off. Leisure Arts, if you sign up for their, if you sign up for an account with them, which is free, you can get 15% off of your first order. Leisure Arts sells mostly patterns. They do sell some yarn, but most of it is like Lion brand and things, which you can actually get cheaper right from the company itself. But anyway, they do have a lot of patterns. They've been around for years and years and years. And the last one is Lion Brand, and Lion Brand is selling, they have a new yarn they just came out with. It's called 50/50 yarn. It is a super bulky 50% alpaca, 50% wool. It's going to be very soft. And then they have a section called the Sheep Skate, which is like their clearance section, and they are offering up to 30% off of the items in their Sheep Skate section. So those are our sales this week. All of my patterns are on sale over on Ravelry for 20% off. Until the end of the month, you must use the coupon code KC20 in order to get that 20% off. I guess that's it for this week. Yeah, I've talked a while though. I always talk a while. Anyway, that is it for this week. And please check out this week's videos. We will have on Monday, there will be a Knit Crate unboxing. On Wednesday, we are going to be doing a little different video. It's not a fiber related video at all. It is actually going to be a little, I took you with me to work. The particular trip that I was on Wednesday, to get from one stop to the next stop, we take a shortcut, and we actually cut through an abandoned section of a state mental hospital that was near where I grew up. I did not grow up on the mental hospital. I went to school right across the street from where the hospital was. But anyway, the buildings are absolutely gorgeous, and the property was actually owned by the sister-in-law of Napoleon Bonaparte. And it just has some interesting history, and we have a Bigfoot, and I'll talk about that. And we'll see a bald eagle. So it was a lot of interesting stuff. So that's going to be on Wednesday's video. And as I mentioned when I talked about Annie's, as soon as I find out and get it finalized regarding the giveaway, I will put a small video up about the giveaway and how to enter. But it is going to be for a free crochet pattern from their spring collection. And I had a little sneak peek over there at it, and there were some gorgeous patterns. So be watching for that. So that should be later this week as well. So in addition to this video, you're going to get 3 other videos this week. So you'll be sick of me by the time you see me next Saturday. So I hope you have a great week. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button down below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you again before next week. I'll see you 3 times this week. So bye, everybody.